across the country, Medicaid
Faith. Test. Faithletic, the podcast. We are back again, live in the house from Faithletic Sports Palace Studio D. Studio D, a new location.
A, B, C,
The debut. The debut. And in the house, special guest, Mr. Celebrity Guest, the Gunslinger.
Mr. Slinger.
So we're going to try to do this, okay?
Okay.
It's Faithletic, the podcast, with the coach and...
Casey.
And...
The Gunslinger!
All right.
Hey, we look really good right
Can
now
y'all hear me?
on my screen.
I can't hear me.
I can hear you.
I'm good.
I hear you. I hear you great.
We hear you.
Okay.
We trust you. I trust you.
I think you're good.
I'll double check. I'm checking right now.
We're checking. We have the technology to check ourselves because we go on our Facebook.
Checking.
Can we hear him?
Oh,
he's
nailed
good.
it. Oh, yeah, he's good. We're just a classic audio check here,
There
live.
we
Got
go.
it.
Can't beat
Live. So, how's everybody doing
it.
here?
Oh, it's one of those kind of weeks.
Yeah.
When you and all of us have jobs. So I know this comes to shock to a lot of you out there.
Correct. We
But
do.
We do have regular jobs. Okay?
Yes.
This is not our paying profession. I know we appear that it is our paying profession, but it's not. And all of us have jobs, and I think I speak for all of us, can be stressful at times.
We are,
That's a true statement.
yes, we will accept any sponsorship donations as well. That
For
for
therapy?
Yeah, that. But also, for a podcast studio. I don't know.
yeah,
anything.
absolutely.
So
I'll get on the phone with Pepsi and Coke.
I'm
after this.
Yeah.
efforting
See what I
that,
can
but
do.
I don't. I hate to lose control.
I got you.
I hate to lose control.
I
But
got
not
you.
that I have to have control, but I
No, you like a little bit though,
I
Tim.
want a little.
Don't
have
we
to
all
have all
though?
of it.
It's not crazy.
Yeah.
You're not crazy
No,
in
I
thinking
know.
that.
Now, if you give up control, you give up.
I lost
creativity.
control at I do.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
When I lost
I think
control.
we all did.
Good thing your wife isn't watching yet.
It's not on there, huh?
Not yet.
So anyway, if you're wondering, yes, we do have 4 different broadcast studios. They're a variation of different locations and parts unknown, and don't tell everybody, Kyle, what they are.
Why, do you
But-
think that I would do that?
Yeah, I do.
I've done it pretty
You-
closely.
not closely, you have. But we have Studio A, which is our original studio, and then Studio B, which is a different variation. And then I will go ahead and tell you that Studio C is the couch. C for couch.
C for couch.
And then this is Studio D, which is actually same building, different room. How's that? Can we do that?
Yeah. Yes.
So
I haven't given out your address though. To be fair, in
Not
the
yet.
past. Not yet.
Not yet.
So y'all,
You trust-
y'all had to create a new studio for me? Is that
something like that.
Well, for all of us.
yeah, it's
For
We've
all of
outgrown-
us.
It was the response
we
to
have
my
gotten
Yes.
so big that we
thing
need
on
more
the
room.
show.
We need more room.
We need more room.
We need.
all
yeah.
my-
Our heads won't fit in the same room at
all
the
my
same time.
groupies.
Yep.
That's correct. Oh man.
So if we seem a little bit, our backgrounds seem a little off, probably by the, I'm just going to say this, by the end of August, one way or another, we will have something that's a bit more professional looking, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Maybe in the same building, but maybe just not just looking like we're doing it from somebody's living room.
I don't know what you're talking about, Dan. This is a studio.
Something a little bit more professional looking.
Hey, but
Even though our equipment is pretty professional.
to be fair,
at least mine
like
is.
Golick and Wingo and Golick are like from their basement.
That's cool.
Right
Be like,
now. So-
Wayne's World.
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't for the studio lighting and the producers off there in the corner,
Yeah.
I would think we were in it.
Big shout out to our producers.
Yeah.
Which
Thank
is
you. You're welcome.
Which is also Dan. Just
Producer, technical advisor, soundboard,
Chief
video
operator.
board.
Uh,
That's why you hear things like earlier when we lost my my audio kind of went longer than anticipated, so we ended up with a change in music transition there. So that was on me.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do though. And Dan, we can do this without you. This show would not exist without
Yeah,
you.
I don't know about that.
No, it wouldn't, because I wouldn't know what to do with all this technology. So anyway,
Is the video look okay on your end?
video looks great on
Okay.
my end.
Doesn't look too hot on mine.
Looks great.
Okay, good. All right, so our show tonight, and I don't really want to get into discussion of everything that's going on, but it has been a little different. I don't want to get political, but it seems like every day there's something different. I think we do briefly, and I'm probably jumping off on an end here, talk about Oklahoma State because that
gosh.
almost imploded.
Yeah, it was real.
And thankfully it did not, being an Oklahoma State guy, and I know that Josh kind of is a little bit too.
Oh yeah.
I'm just telling you, and I know, and I'm not. First of all, I want everybody to understand that I'm not taking a position one way or another.
Sure.
I'm just saying, if you lose the coaching regime as it is now, the OSU program will never recover.
They might not, especially from something like that,
Yeah.
or where it could have been. And it's one of those situations that, to me, if you get back into the, we don't want to go too deep into it, obviously, but
not.
I just think it was one of those things that Mike Gundy needed to read the room a little bit better.
Probably.
That was my only thing. Wear whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like that's not the thing here.
Yeah.
Like it's a freedom of choice, freedom of consequences type
absolutely.
situation. So
Know your room.
But
Yeah.
now they've come out and there's multiple players
Yep.
coming out and saying that he used the N-word towards them several times, and I mean the things are getting hotter than just the
Yeah.
O&E shirt.
And
Yeah,
that's
it's-
probably because I'm not going to name names, but the athletic director is probably trying to get his head. But what do I know? I think some of that's coming from the AD. I think he's digging.
I don't know about that. I think that
He's
could be
encouraging
yeah.
Trust me.
I think that Holder and him have always
Yep.
had
A
some
dislike.
strife.
Yep.
That there's I don't know if it's tough to say. I don't think those would be manufactured because I think Holder also knows.
I'm not saying
the-
they're manufactured.
No, but the
Yeah.
gravity is of like that Holder realizes the importance of who Mike Gundy is to the program.
Yeah.
And so I don't think he's going to try to push him out the door
I do
or
think
anything
so.
like that.
I do think so.
Yeah, I don't see why you would do something like this then,
Yeah.
if the goal isn't to get him out the door. Because, again,
But,
not politically, but in today's climate.
Sure.
I mean, dude.
But a Holder didn't post it.
Holder has took
The-
advantage. No, he did not.
Yeah.
But the comments he made in retrospect
Sure.
had every indication that he was trying to push him out the door. And you go back and look at his track record, and anybody has any substance, he's pushed out the door. And the only reason he didn't get pushed out the door earlier is because I think Boone, even though him and Pickens, even Boone and Gundy had their issues, Boone also appreciated the fact that with Gundy they had better chances of success than without.
Yeah. I also like.
And Holder don't care.
Yeah. But there's also a reality too of a lot of these times we've noticed that if there's smoke, there's fire.
Mhm.
So you can't just deny those claims from the players.
Not claiming that at all.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I don't think you
Yeah.
were. But I'm just saying like there could be something there and it's like Gundy just
I
get
just
your
hope not.
Yeah, of course not.
Anyway, we'll better move away from that, or we can get really deep into this. So tonight we encourage, as we always do, your
Yes.
input, and we're going to do a couple of time permitting, and we do have unpermitted time, I guess you could call it. We can go as long as we want,
We can do whatever we want.
as long as one of our wives don't call in the middle of the show and say, "Hey, you need to get home."
That's
That
right.
could
On
happen.
that note,
That
could happen.
let me just get rid of this.
It just got But
Joshua.
tonight, a couple of topics that we're going to dive into. We're going to actually discuss the greatest NFL plays in playoff history.
Okay.
Greatest plays in NFL playoff history. And then we're going to have, and I think this is going to be kind of fun, we're going to have like a mock franchise draft. So Kyle and the gunslinger, Josh and myself, are going to start our own franchise, and we get to handpick anybody from NFL historical.
But we're
History.
But we can't never pick, two guys can't pick
No.
the same guy.
But
So
we're
different guys.
specifically picking quarterback, wide
Yep.
receivers, running back,
Yep.
a
Yes.
tight end, and a kicker.
Imagine it like an all-time fantasy football team is what
Yes.
we're
It
kind
is.
of manufacturing, and we will not all have the same team. So
No.
I
In
am
fact, we can't have the same.
no, and I am even going to try to input this into a simulator to see if that's even a possibility, and we'll let you know the results next week.
Who
So
wins?
yeah, who wins? It's me.
It-
It's going to be my
well,
team.
me and Josh already realized that there won't be any speculation of who KC will
Listen,
draft.
there's only you don't know me.
Yes, we do.
Well, I know if I could pick Patrick Mahomes in every position, I would.
I
but
almost am going to pick him. See, he's got the number one though, so
shout out,
pick out him just so he could.
Wow, man.
shout out to Trent Hendricks
Hey,
who's
Trent.
joined us.
Yeah.
Zach Dillard who's joined
Hey,
us.
Zachary.
Your lovely wife Tamara
Oh, yeah.
is watching.
Oh, I'm not seeing
And
comments on mine.
Our sports and information department, Adam Kosh, who
oh,
has been. I haven't seen him in a minute on here. He is
yeah.
very busy in the Chick-fil-A world. So that he's an up and coming
Up and coming Chick-fil-A.
star in the world of Chick-fil-A. So anyway, shout out to our listeners. We also would love it if you picked your own team, pick your quarterback as we go along as well, and we'll even, if you're still on at the end, we'll have you vote to see who you think the best team is. Does that sound good, guys?
That's a good one. I like that.
I dig
Yeah.
it.
I like
So
that.
yeah, we'll put a poll out there
I'm
too
glad
throughout
we
the week.
accept, non-biased opinions.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You should turn the sound off.
My opinion is right. Like I have a correct
Well, you
opinion.
probably have your own roster out there, incorporating,
Yeah. So
like, vote for me. Knowing how you are.
I will not campaign. I'm
Yeah.
not a lobbyist.
Bet you will.
I'm not a campaigner. I'm a cam pleasure. I don't know. Anyway.
All right, so we don't get started here. Which one do we do? We wanna do the playoff
Let's
plays?
do playoffs plays first. Let's get that
playoffs.
playoffs. And again, Adam, since you are sports and information director,
So let me make sure.
tell us
everybody
if we're
understands.
wrong.
Let me make sure everybody understands that's listening to us online.
Yes.
So the greatest plays in NFL playoff history.
Playoffs.
So, and I'm not going to use this one, but I'm going to use this as an example. Well, you know what? I won't, because somebody might mention it. But I've got like 7 here I picked, and I can narrow it down to 5, or we can do a Mount Rushmore. But I think we're all going to have different picks, and just discuss them. How's that?
Yeah. Go for it.
Yep.
Dan, why don't you lead us off then?
Okay, all right. So my favorite of all time, because I don't know where we're going to get picked out here, probably my favorite of all times, and I was watching this live, and I hate it because the team that won it, but has to be one of the greatest plays in playoff history, the Immaculate Reception.
Okay.
1972 Pittsburgh Steelers, or is it 71? Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Oakland Raiders at Pittsburgh. So Terry Bradshaw goes back to pass. He's going over the middle with a wide receiver. The wide receiver gets clocked. The ball bounces over somebody's helmet, and along come the sidelines. Franco Harris picks it up off the ground, off the turf, and scampers down the sideline for a touchdown.
Scampers.
Scampers.
Off
Good
the
word.
turf because it hit the
I
ground.
love it. Okay, for me, the one that is a little bit more recent, would be the Minneapolis Miracle.
That's not what
Or Marvel, as what some people call it.
Minnesota Marvel.
I've only heard it called the Miracle.
Me too, but I saw it called something else today.
Anyway, that was incredible. Where you the Minnesota Vikings beat the New Orleans Saints. The poor Saints have lost in heartbreaking. Kirk D. Cousins, throws the ball to Stephon Diggs, while a Saints player appears to tackle or just miss the tackle on Stephon Diggs, and Diggs is able to scamper free. Scamper.
You like that word?
Yeah.
Word of the day, scamper.
Scamper for a touchdown, and they go to the NFC Championship game. As a result,
they lose.
They did lose the NFC Championship game. Anyway, that's mine. That's my number one.
Okay, Josh?
Or that comes to mind.
There are so many.
There are a few.
Now, I don't know if this counts as a playoff play, but what about the Philly? They're on to end the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
the Philly special.
Yeah. Philly special.
Where
I mean, what a call!
Nick Foles catches the
yes,
flicker.
the little reverse.
Yeah, no, that's a great play.
That's a great play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, the stage and the circumstance, all that surrounds it, is really what makes that just so tremendous.
Adam says Cowboys fan picks a Steelers play. What the heck?
Yeah. Actually, I have a couple of them.
Oh, you got another one?
Well, I mean, when he said Steelers play, I do have another one because, there's several plays that here's another one. Playoff history.
Case
right?
Keenum was a quarterback, by the way, not Kirk
Cousins.
Cousins.
Oh, that's right.
Dang it, Adam Kosh, our sports
there
information.
we go.
This is why we need him.
We need it on staff.
We need it.
We need it on staff.
We'll send you per diem. Is that right? Is that
Yeah, something like that.
Stipend? We'll
It's
send him a stipend.
Send you a quarter. Okay, so I'm next, right?
Yes, you got it.
So the catch. That's two Cowboy. No, it's not a Cowboy. That's the second Cowboy play. But this is the first Cowboy play. But it is another team that I don't really care about.
I know.
The catch 1981 NFC Championship game in Candlestick Park. And by the way, here goes another rule that the Cowboys get hosed on. If Drew Pearson is horse-collared on the play preceding that, he goes for a touchdown and game over. But anyway, the catch, Dwight Clark from Joe Montana. And by the way, he still was throwing the ball out of bounds. I don't care what they say. He was throwing it out of bounds.
There's no
that
way.
Play is what made me a football fan.
Well, it broke the
Not
Dallas
even
Cowboys. And
It
it made the
broke 'em.
49ers a dynasty.
Yeah, it did.
Because it was the first of 5 Super Bowls and 4 in the 80s. So, yeah, definitely.
Dan's not bitter about that
No,
situation
not at all.
either.
Plus, Danny White fumbles on the next play. So, yeah, that's Dallas gets the ball back at the 20. First play, Drew Pearson, post pattern, gets horse-collared to the 50-yard line. And on the next play, Danny White fumbles, which he's done his whole life. He's a fumbler. Anyway.
Josh, you got one?
Yeah, I'm going to go kind of obscure here, and
Uh-oh.
I'm using the
Obscure.
interwebs
Obscure. Interwebs.
to find this. And this is one that was indeed memorable. Maybe not the greatest ever, but Tim Tebow and the
Yes!
316.
It's on my list.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great
Out of nowhere.
yes.
Yeah,
That
the guy
was
that
nuts.
can't throw the ball a lick, hits an 80-yard bomb, and first play of overtime.
That
Who
was
was that against?
the Steelers.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep. That was wild. That was a crazy
that
game
was-
where I was rooting for Tim Tebow, which I never rooted for the Broncos ever.
I was rooting for
but
him.
I was rooting for Tim
Yeah,
Tebow.
absolutely.
Anyway,
Absolutely.
so that's a good one. How about the helmet catch by David
Yep,
Tyree?
that's on my list.
Yeah, I would say that one is pretty incredible. But also the catch right beforehand, where I can't remember if it was before or after, directly after, to Mario Manningham on the sideline, where he just catches the ball.
That's before.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
before, and then that set up the helmet catch, which
and then the touchdown.
the
pass.
touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that to me was pretty incredible, and that was against the at the time 18-0 New England Patriots.
Unbeatable team.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Randy Moss's Patriots that year, where he
It was.
just went on fire. So Eli got Peyton.
Okay. Go back to me.
Back to you.
Arizona versus Pittsburgh. James Harrison,
Oh.
101-yard interception return at the end of the half,
Yeah,
which
that
probably doesn't win that football game.
that changed the game.
Absolutely.
And then Springsteen came on.
Yeah. Who's that? Does he play? Does
Bruce.
he play for?
Anyway.
Okay. Josh,
Marshawn Lynch.
you mean the non-Marshawn Lynch?
Well, no, yeah, whatever. The play where Marshawn just stomped on everybody and broke
Oh.
every tackle.
The
Oh,
earthquake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just that was
Who
ridiculous.
were they playing that game?
Oh gosh, don't.
Was that the Broncos?
It might have. No,
Was that-
let me look.
Was that
Let me look. I'm looking.
was that a Peyton Manning led Bronco team that they lost in the Super Bowl?
No, it was the Saints.
It was
It's the Saints. The Beastquake is what
oh,
it's
that's
called.
a playoff game, wasn't
Yeah,
it? Super Bowl.
Beastquake.
Okay,
It
yeah.
was a playoff game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beastquake.
Okay, yep.
That was on my list as well. And my last, or I don't know what I'm going to say last one, but another one that I had was the Malcolm Butler interception
Oh,
against
Saints.
the Seahawks.
Yeah. No.
No. It was New England Patriots where they should have run the ball.
There. Yeah.
Yes, and Malcolm Butler
was a
catches
great
the
play.
ball, and everybody says, "Run the ball, Pete Carroll."
I was so torn on who to root for in that game because I can't stand Pete Carroll, and I can't stand the Patriots.
Do you not? Do you think I like Pete Carroll? I've had a lot of back and forth between those USC teams, by the way, which is another topic for another time probably. But I've grown to like Pete Carroll quite a bit.
I don't.
No.
No.
Okay. Let's talk about USC another day.
Just do that.
Let's put a bookmark in
Yeah. We could talk about all the scandals they've been a
there.
part
I
of.
know they welcomed Reggie Bush back this week,
Reggie
though.
Bush, O.J. Simpson. I mean, just go down the list. Okay, back to me.
Yes, sir.
All right, so here we go. Another anti-Dallas Cowboy. Lynn Swan's catching the Super Bowl against the Cowboys in '75 Super Bowl.
There's been a lot of cowboy heartbreak.
There's been a lot of Jackie
been a
Smith
lot of
drops a touchdown pass from Roger Staubach against the Steelers.
Yeah.
That's another one. But yeah, Lynn Swan, it's one of those acrobatic. He's falling away towards the ground, tipped 3 times, and he lands on his back and catches it and changes course of action for that game. Pretty much.
That was crazy.
Josh, you got another one?
The Music City Miracle.
Yep.
That's on my list.
Yep. That's a good one.
I mean, that was
Was it a
chaos.
lateral?
It was chaos.
It was chaos.
It was literally the definition of a lateral pass. Like it was.
Yeah,
It was.
It-
No,
yeah.
like 0 yardage forward or backward. It was wild. Are we missing anything?
I've got another one.
What about the Ice Bowl?
Ice Bowl
QB
one? Yep.
QB sneak.
Not on my list, but yeah. I've got
Between-
enough anti-Dallas Cowboy heartbreaks.
I know. I'm so sorry. Bart Starr.
And
1
then-
yard rush
and
up
then
the middle.
And there's another Cowboy heartbreak. 37-yard field goal as time expired against the Baltimore Colts, Super Bowl 5.
Dude, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
But
so
this one,
sorry.
last one I do have is not a Dallas Cowboy one. It is the Raiders against the Dolphins in '74, where Stabler
Yep.
fumbles the ball forward and everybody else fumbles it forward. Changed the NFL rule book that no fumble can be forwarded except by the player who fumbled it, and it can't go any further than where he picks it up at, or it can't be advanced, I believe.
Yes, but inside 2 minutes.
Inside 2 minutes,
Yes.
exactly. Because they
Um,
literally fumbled a 20-yard fumble
And
to
they
a
kept-
touchdown.
I
Forward.
thi- yeah.
Lateral it basically is what it was.
wasn't that against the Chargers though?
I think it was against the Dolphins.
Well, the Dolphins was a sea of hands.
Yeah, that's another one.
Okay,
But I thought it was against
Um,
the Dolphins. It could have been against the Chargers, but I'm pretty sure it's against the Dolphins.
we're gonna look that up too. Or
The Kenny Stabler
You know-
fumble, whatever. I could be wrong. I
yeah,
was watching that game live too.
I've got another one that I just thought
Throw
of.
it out there, baby.
What about the onside kick, the gutsiest call ever?
Oh,
in
yeah.
the Super Bowl. The Colts recovered the onside kick against the Saints,
Was it the other way around?
or was it? Yeah.
It was the Saints
Yeah,
kicking it,
that-
right?
What
What
did
the
I
Saints
just
did?
say?
It was the Saints recovering the onside kick from the Colts.
The Colts tried it?
No, I'm sorry. The Saints tried it. They got it
Got
and
it.
recovered.
Yeah, that
Yep. Sean Payton made the
I-
call.
I mixed it around.
Yeah,
And
That's-
that worked
Yep.
out.
Yep, and it worked out. They won the Super Bowl
that was
that
Drew
year.
Brees' only Super Bowl.
Yes, it is.
And there was another onside kick, successful one, but didn't turn out so well. They did recover it, but it didn't turn out so well for the winning or the team that recovered it. Steelers Cowboys Super Bowl 30. They run an onside kick on the Cowboys to get the ball, but the Cowboys end up winning.
So I was right, by the way. That was against the Chargers.
Is it?
Yes,
Wow.
the Holy Roller
The
is what
Holy
it's
Roller,
called. Yeah,
yeah.
the Holy Roller. And then the Sea of Hands was against the Dolphins in 1974. This was 1978 was the Holy Roller. And then they changed the rule book as a result. And so you can't fumble the ball. Football, you can't you can't proceed the ball down the field. It has to go back to where it was fumbled inside of 2 minutes. That's where that rule came from. So I fumbled over my words there. See what I did there?
Nice.
See what I did there?
Well played.
Yes.
That was a great playoff play
Yeah, it was.
right there.
Are we missing anything? Did we get everything?
I'm sure there's some we missed. I
Somebody
mean, I've
somebody
got
comment
50
on the
years
one
of
that we
heartbreak.
missed.
Yeah.
Just, let me think. Let's see.
Come
The
on,
interception, Peyton Manning's, or not, Peyton Manning's intercepted. And I can't remember who did it for the New Orleans Saints. They're getting ready to drive for the winning touchdown when Drew Brees actually wins that Super Bowl you're talking about. But Peyton Manning is driving, and the defender for the Saints steps inside, returns it house. Pick six. Peyton Manning's
Boy.
interception. But I can't remember
Can't
who the
remember
player
it.
was. That was a big play. And then
What about in the most recent Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs?
I don't
and
remember any of those.
You don't remember any of
I don't
those?
remember any of those.
Well, they were down by 10, and they came back and won by 10.
So what's one play in that game?
Oh, the jet chip wasp to Tyreek Hill. That was the play that brought him back
the
into
step in
it.
what?
It was the jet chip
What's
wasp.
that come from?
That was just the name of the play, where Tyreek just said, "Do we have time for wasp?" And he was talking to his offensive coordinator. And what he meant was do we have time with the blitz to get this play off? And it was just to chuck the ball deep to Tyreek, where he would do a double move down the field, and that's what, with 8 minutes left in the game, got changed the tide for the Kansas City Chiefs in that game. And so there's a lot of T-shirts that say "Jet Chip Wasp"
Never even heard
with
of
the
that
play on it.
Never
So
heard of it.
anyway, there you go.
Shows you what I know.
But go Chiefs.
Yeah.
I still feel good because I'm, champion.
You are.
Yeah.
You are for the rest of the year.
Yeah, or maybe if there's
Yeah,
still football, it
seems
could be
like
good.
next
Could
year
be
out of
2
this
years.
Two-time non-defending Super Bowl champion.
Hey, but we're gonna win again.
We'll see.
Vegas says so.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm not saying you won't, but
I,
odds are not in your favor.
Yeah, they are.
Well, they are.
We're the Chiefs.
They are in Vegas, but that doesn't mean anything. There's only 31 other teams they have to get through.
I already told you the Niners. I said they're gonna fall apart because the Super Bowl loser has fallen apart the past 5 years. It's a trend.
Has it?
And yeah, Debo Samuel broke his foot. He has a Jones fracture.
Fracture.
Fracture. What an idiot. Me. Anyway.
there's also great statistics about teams that win the Super Bowl and then don't make the playoffs the next year, things of this nature.
Yeah, not the Chiefs though. They're bulletproof.
They're different.
They're different.
Yeah, I agree.
They're
but
different.
I was just trying to bring you down. On
Adam,
cloud
we did
there.
mention the Music City Miracle. It's when you stepped away from the computer for a second. So,
Yep.
thank you.
Yep.
Though
We
love you.
do. So that's our greatest plays in NFL playoff history. And I'm sure there's a few others out there. I can think of Kenny King against the Eagles, I believe, took off on a 70-something yard touchdown run. I can also think of a screen pass to Marcus Allen in '82, I believe, against the Redskins. for the Raiders.
There's a lot of great Raiders plays, as you can tell.
And then there was one in the first half in that game where Joe Theismann throws an interception on a screen pass and gets returned for a touchdown.
And how did you feel about that?
I loved it.
I know you did.
I have this dislike for several players in the NFL. Joe Theismann is one.
I know.
And
I bet you loved him in the Monday Night Football booth,
I
too.
did not.
His name was actually pronounced
Thiesman.
Yeah.
He changed it to
He said that recently. That's exactly how it was spelled. That was interesting.
He
But
changed
he
it
wanted to sound like Heisman.
Heisman to
Yeah.
win a Heisman, which he did not.
Nope. Thiesman.
So before we move on to our draft,
Yes.
players in the NFL you absolutely cannot stand in history. Josh, anybody?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of changed over time.
Mine hasn't much.
I don't know, because I really don't like Aaron Rodgers, but I also do like him at the same. Like I respect Aaron Rodgers, but I don't like him either.
He's
at
a
the
great
same
ball
time.
player.
Yeah, it's like it's like
Mine's Brett Favre and Theis,
Yes.
those two.
Oh, wow.
it's like an Anchorman where it's like I hate you, Ron Burgundy, but gosh darn it, I respect you.
Yeah,
And he kisses him on the forehead. That's how I feel about Aaron
I don't
Rodgers.
even think I go that far. I don't like. He's probably in the top 5 for me in Aaron Rodgers.
Like favorite or hated?
In the top favorite. Most hated.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it's
Theis
Rodgers.
and they're all Packers. And
Um,
probably Bradshaw when he was playing, but I love him now.
There's a few Bronco. Like I don't like Phil Rivers at all.
Really?
Oh, I can't stand Phil Rivers.
Really?
He's in the
Why?
same division.
Huh?
He's in
You
the
know
same
anything about him?
division. Yeah, he's got like 12 kids and he doesn't swear and he's a Christian,
yep.
but I don't like him.
Okay.
Like,
Alright, okay. He's going to coach high school football when he's done. playing?
yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, he's already got the job.
Yeah. I had a love-hate relationship with Jay Cutler too.
Yeah. 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 I don't know who would.
Yeah.
Josh, anybody you can't stand?
There's no hate in my heart.
Oh,
No,
that's
it's
sweet. That's a
No,
good answer.
Okay,
I can't think of
dislike.
any.
Dislike.
I can't think of any that. I mean, there's plenty that
You're
I've
such a good guy.
disliked. I didn't like T.O. when he was out there acting a
Yes.
fool.
Yes.
Well,
All the time, you mean?
yeah. So pretty much T.O.
That's my quarterback.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, I'm not big on that kind of stuff. So
There has been teams for players that I blacklisted from because of my fantasy teams that I've had that I'm like, I can't. Nope. You ruined my fantasy team, so you're not on my team ever again. So that sometimes happens.
I'm sure it has.
Devontae Freeman killed my fantasy team 2 years ago. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on and onward and outward. So we're going. Are we good with this? Everybody's okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a commercial timeout, just less than a minute, and then we're going to come back with our special segment, which is going to be. You want to tell us about it, Kyle? Tell us what
Yes.
we're doing when we come back.
We are going to draft our fantasy team, our all-time fantasy team, and we will do it right after the break. No, we're going to keep going. No, but I'm excited about this. It was I am interested to see who you've got, Dan, because I think we'll have a little bit of a different.
Oh, I guarantee you, because you're picking all Chiefs.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
I have a pool to pick from. I mean, I only have 2 on my list right
Okay.
here to choose from in my pool of players. So my team is going to dominate
Hope I have this right.
if we have this right.
All right,
That's okay.
we're gonna give this a shot. Hopefully it works. So we're gonna take a quick commercial timeout. We'll be back in about 60 seconds, and hopefully I don't botch this up. If it does, I'll start over. Right back.
Team Black Mentorship. Find out more about accountability, work ethic, and honesty at Team Black Mentorship. the place where champions train, the place where champions evolve. For more info, go to teamblackmentorship.com. Team Black Mentorship, where iron sharpens iron and one friend sharpens another.
All right, that's our special. I think he turned his mic on, so he can't hear you, and I can't reach it. You can reach over there and turn his mic on. We can hear you. And we're back.
There we go.
So, do you like our commercial?
Yeah, I dig
No,
it.
It wasn't bad.
That was all right.
Okay, so I can find this. There we go. We're back. Okay, we're back. So that was our commercial timeout. Sorry for not being as the timing issues. I'm still, again, producer, sound man, video man, and all that.
You're the Everett man. You got
I
everything.
don't know
You do
about
everything.
that. I fake it really good.
You do a great job.
Thank you.
So, okay, we are going to set the parameters a little bit for this thing. So, are we going to do this by position first, or are we going to pick anybody that we want to start out of this and make sure that we fulfill all of the positions within this?
I don't know. What do you think? You think we should pick anybody we want, or you think you should?
Yeah, because that changes the strategy a little bit
Yeah.
to me. I think maybe we allow you to pick whatever position you want to
I think
first.
we should.
So, okay, all right.
And
So just make sure.
And you're first.
All right. Well,
And are you writing these down?
I sure can. I will get a new note out, a sticky note, and I will enter them in as we go along here, okay?
Okay.
So, my first pick, since I was given it first, and it's a snake draft, so I'll go first, then it'll go to Josh, and then Dan will have 2 picks. That's the way
Back to back.
back to back, and we will keep going back and forth. So with my first pick, I am picking Tom Brady.
Whoa!
Is
I
my
am
first
shocked.
Wow.
I'm falling
Pick.
over.
Who
I
saw
am
that
falling over.
Tom who?
So just to make sure everybody understands, we all get a quarterback. We both get 2 running backs.
Yep.
We both. All 3 of us get 2 running backs. All 3 of us get 3 wide receivers.
Yep.
1 tight end and 1 kicker.
So yeah,
Oof.
I know I just blew y'all's mind.
did.
I said you don't even know what's gonna hit you. I'm serious about this thing. So
Wow.
TB12 Tom Brady is my pick.
Well, that pick has rocked my strategy.
Has it really?
I'm not going to lie to you. So this is going to be a panic pick. This is an all-time great. Everybody knows his name. A guy I actually, believe it or not, played football against in high school.
Uh-oh.
He was going to be the number 1 pick, but then he wasn't. He went number 2. His number is 16. Ryan Leaf.
What?
Oh.
Have you lost your mind?
You lost your mind.
No, I'm not picking
That's
him.
right now. Your time is up, sir.
Oh, man.
Gentlemen from
I,
Montana, your time
Great,
is up.
great jokes.
I played against him in high school.
That is cool
Yeah.
though. That is
Yeah.
cool.
He was a jerk then, too.
Yeah. He's back in
Yeah,
jail.
he's turned it around.
No, he's back in jail again.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, he's messed up again.
Same thing?
No
Yeah,
way, because
something-
I've heard.
Oh, dude.
'Cause he's got his-
Shoplifting or something, yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Ah,
I'm positive.
Ryan.
Yep. Go Google it up.
I'll-
Go ahead.
I'll Google it up. I thought he was like a born again
And
Christian
he's
type.
messed up again.
Oh
Oh.
It was
no.
in the news about a month ago. You see all the COVID thing in. Yeah.
Yep.
I told
You're
you. I
right.
know.
Domestic battery
That's what
charge
it
during
was.
COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, come on,
Dang.
bro.
Yeah, with his wife, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Dang.
Now I remember.
Ah, okay.
All right.
All right, Josh.
pick?
Who's
All
your
right,
pick?
I'm going to
Mulligan.
go with wide receiver Jerry Rice.
I know.
Okay.
Got Jerry Rice there.
All right.
Okay. All right. My number 1 pick in the first round, number 3 overall, I'm going to pick Joe Montana.
Joe MT.
And my number 2 pick. Are you ready? my number 2 pick. First round, second round, first pick, third overall, fourth overall. Anquan Bolden. Yep,
Wow. Wow. Did not see that coming.
I know you didn't.
I have so many questions.
So do I. Like, he's not.
Well, we got
should
to
I-
discuss it after. I
should
think
I
we got.
say
We'll
that-
discuss our picks after. I think that's the best way to go because I
Okay.
think
Yeah.
yeah,
We'll go down each
we'll go
team.
each down
Shocker.
each
Okay,
team.
so let's
Yeah.
just
Shocker.
knock this thing out then. Give me Emmett Smith.
Oh!
Okay.
You took one of my picks. I'm a little surprised.
I'm going skill positions here, y'all. Skill positions.
Well, these are all skill positions.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Kicker. Let's go into the kicker.
No, I am going with Barry Sanders.
Really?
Very nice. Very nice.
And-
He was number 2. Well, okay, don't say that.
And the steal of the draft so far, Randy Moss.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow.
Okay. And now I'm picking.
No, it's me again.
What?
Yeah.
I think that
Like
worked
I
out.
said, I wanted that number 2 because you get to pick every 2 picks.
Okay.
How about Megatron? I'll take Megatron.
Great pick.
I'll take
Great
Megatron.
pick. Calvin Johnson, Megatron for Josh's pick, which is a great squad so far. Mr. Dan,
Fred Taylor.
Fred Taylor. Oh man,
And there's the old person
I
coming
have
out.
so many. No, he's not even old. He's just an
No,
old
I know.
player. He's just an old player's name.
Well, the best
Dan,
one
I have
there.
so many questions.
I know you did.
Okay, all right.
Now, did you take 2 picks though?
No.
Yeah, you got one more
Oh.
coming back at you.
Guess I better get a. Get another
Hmm.
wide receiver before they all go away.
Things that make you go,
I'm going to go with Michael Irvin.
Michael, hey, this is a real homer pick. You're the first one to pick a homer pick.
Well, I wouldn't have been if you hadn't picked everybody. I had to have somebody to pick.
I know. Hey, listen, I wasn't going to leave.
Are you writing your picks down?
Yeah,
Okay.
I am. Josh, you're up.
Gonna go get that second running back. We're gonna go with Jim Brown.
Jim Brown?
Woo!
Okay. I'm going to grab mine as well. My second running back. Y'all, I crush it at this. Walter Payton, y'all.
He was right there. He's my next one.
Walter
Uh,
Payton. And then my second wide receiver will be,
don't do it.
it will be
Don't do it.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Dang it!
Ooh.
Dang it!
Larry Fitzgerald is my second wide receiver. Coming back at you, Josh. You need a quarterback, a wide
Oh,
receiver, a
man.
tight end, and a kicker.
He hasn't got a
Doggone
quarterback
it.
yet?
He doesn't because he didn't need to. He
Yeah,
could pick
I
whatever
mean, there's so many.
he could pick whatever he wanted.
It's,
now.
oh, man. Well, this comes back to bite me. Terrell Owens.
Terrell Owens is on Josh's squad. All right. All right. I am going to try to make this happen. Dan, you are in need of another running back.
I am.
You are in need of a wide receiver, a
Okay.
tight end, and a kicker.
Yep. Am I picking now?
Yeah, two.
Oh.
You got back to back.
Okay. I'm gonna go with a tight end.
Okay.
Kellen Winslow.
Kellen Winslow, the Kellen Winslow,
Yeah, not.
who
Okay.
not junior, the one that changed the position
Yeah,
forever.
he did.
And then you have another pick,
Oh, I'm gonna go with Eric Dickerson.
Eric Dickerson.
Okay. Yeah, this is a good pick.
Okay. All right.
All right, so I'm up, and I'm so glad you didn't pick him. I'm going to take a tight end as well, Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah, he's on
Okay.
the list.
Tony G. All right. I got 2 picks coming at me. So I will take. I got another wide receiver to pick. Let's go with Julio Jones as a wide receiver. Okay, and then I will also take Rob Gronkowski as
course you will.
my.
Very good.
Of course you will.
Yes.
Very good.
All right.
Who's up?
It is Josh's turn. He needs a QB and a kicker. We're all going to pick our kickers last. Is the way that it's meant to be done.
Maybe not.
Of
Maybe
course.
not. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I might as well go get him now. Peyton Manning.
Your quarterback.
Peyton Manning.
Not a bad
Yeah.
pick.
Yep. Great pick. All right. All right. Mr. Dan, your last 2 picks, a wide receiver and a kicker
I
for
get
you.
both now.
Yes.
A kicker?
Yes.
No, let's go wide receiver. Doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter. Yep.
You know what? Let's do the kicker.
Okay.
Sebastian Janikowski.
Seabass. All right. Sebastian Janikowski. Picked. And then your wide receiver.
This is tough. This is tough.
Do. Your last wide receiver.
It's a tough one. Plus, I don't have anybody written down. They've been all taken. So I got.
You want to look at my list?
Yeah, let me look at your list. Have you already
They're-
got all
they're
your
right
wide
over
receivers?
here.
Have you already got all your wide receivers?
Yeah.
I don't like any of those.
Yeah, but they're pretty darn good.
They're not bad.
I got some too.
Not bad.
Over here too.
Where's that? Oh, wide receivers.
Do. Dan is
All right,
really
I know
thinking. Who we got?
Isaac Bruce.
Isaac Bruce.
Okay. Yeah, that's respectable.
Isaac Bruce.
Thank you.
Yeah, I approve.
Thank you.
All right. My kicker. Now, this is a homer pick, but he's also the most accurate kicker in NFL history.
Okay.
Dan Bailey.
How's that a homer pick?
He's from Yukon.
Oh. Okay, that
he's from
pick.
Mustang.
Okay.
Mustang.
He's from Mustang.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Good pick. He was on my list, by the way, but he didn't ever kick anything in the playoffs. So
I know.
he couldn't do it. Of course, Janikowski had either.
Then I get Gosh, I got too many Patriots on my team. Well, no. Not necessarily. I'll count him as a Colt out of Vinatieri.
Yeah, that's the other kicker I had.
Yeah, that was on my list too.
All right. So, I'm going to put these in the chat for sure right now. And then we're going to discuss who we got. We'll go team by team.
Okay.
Let me put them in the chat real quick. Continue your discussion. How do you feel about your team?
All right, well, here's a few people that didn't get picked. How about that?
Yeah, go.
Nobody took LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah.
I
He was left on the list, and I'm a Chargers guy. I can't believe I didn't pick him.
he was on my short list of people to choose from, but when Walter Payton's on the board, you can't choose. It's hard to choose LaDainian Tomlinson over Walter Payton
Absolutely.
for sure. So, okay, so I'm gonna put Josh's team in the chat here.
All right, how about let's see. Well, let's just talk about a few great quarterbacks. How about Johnny Unitas? Johnny Unitas, he stacks up there. I mean, come
Could
on.
be.
Brett Favre, no, you hate him. Drew Brees, John Elway,
Patrick Mahomes was on my
Patrick
short
Mahomes.
list, but I had to take Tom Brady first.
You've got to. If you don't, you're.
So
Come on.
So if I had not gotten Montana, I would homered all the way.
you would have gone Roger.
Stop
You've
it.
gone Roger.
And Romo was a thought.
Oh,
Of all time, though, or are you just
Romo?
saying
If
first?
he was
come on.
not, he would have been my number one. But if I didn't needed to go to somebody, I would have
Oh, my
trusted
gosh.
Tony Romo.
I see what
he
you're.
would've
I see
probably
what you're
been-
saying.
I mean, he's still been behind.
He
You're thinking team leadership. We're
Yep.
thinking like
Yep.
a little bit of
Yep.
fan. Like I get it.
Yep.
Like Tony
He's a
Romo.
numbers guy.
Yeah.
But I had Montana, Staubach, Elway, and Manning in that order.
Okay.
And then Romo would have been a backup, but I knew it wasn't going to come to that because really we only had one each, right? A
did
quarterback.
you have Tom Brady on your
I
quarterback?
did not.
Wow.
So okay.
I'm never going to pick a cheater. Sorry.
Wow. Okay. So are you ready? We'll go through my team. See what we
Okay.
what we
Okay.
think.
All right.
My quarterback Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Barry Sanders and Walter Payton as my running backs.
Definitely got the speed and a little bit of power there.
Randy Moss, Larry Fitzgerald, and Julio Jones as my wide receivers. Rob Gronkowski at my tight
Pretty
end,
solid.
and Adam Vinatieri kicking it
Pretty
for
solid.
my team as well.
Pretty solid.
So, pretty solid team
Yeah.
right there.
Where's your weak
If I had to tweak anything, I might choose a different tight end. I probably would think about going Antonio Gates instead of
Yeah.
Rob
Yeah,
Gronkowski.
he was a guy
Gates.
who-
That is the
on my
only thing that I might have done differently with my squad there. Josh, you had Peyton Manning, Emmitt Smith, Jim Brown, Jerry Rice, Calvin Johnson, T.O., Tony Gonzalez, and Dan Bailey as your team.
Dude, that's a solid team.
That's a solid squad. Emmitt Smith and Jim Brown.
Well-
That's a dynamic.
yeah.
Definitely going power running.
Yeah, for
and,
sure.
and the number one receiver of all time, Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice.
I've got the number 3 quarterback of all time, Peyton Manning.
Well,
Maybe not. Of
Yeah,
all time.
I don't know, because you could go-
He's
He's a top 10
arguably
guy.
in that
He's a top 10 guy.
conversation.
Yes, I think he's a top
Maybe
5
top
quarterback.
5. Maybe.
I don't know who you. I mean, I would go Brady. I'd go Montana, and then I think I'd go Manning.
Yeah, that's what I had. That's why I said 3.
Would you agree?
No.
Or you go Staubach,
Yeah.
Manning.
I'd go. I would probably my top 3 would be Manning, Staubach, and Elway before Manning.
Okay,
But maybe probably a top 5.
all
I
right.
give him 5.
Trent commends us on our picks.
Yeah.
Dan,
Yep.
you got Joe Montana, Fred Taylor, Eric Dickerson, Anquan Bolden, Michael Irvin, Isaac Bruce, Kellen Winslow, and Sebastian Janikowski. And James Onks asked a question: can anybody pay this team's salaries?
There was no salary
The
cap.
answer is no.
So tell me why you had such a shocking response to Anquan Bolden.
I had 2 actually. The Anquan Bolden thing is, he wasn't even the best player on his team.
No.
To
But-
me,
but
Fitzgerald
one of the most dangerous and physical wide receivers in the game.
for sure.
And he was put my possession.
Now, wait a second. Larry Fitzgerald was still on the board
Yes.
at that time.
I don't care. I'm
Wow.
So
because he made 2 teams Super Bowl contenders or winners. He got, and I know he had a lot of help, but Fitzgerald made a difference, and was the number 1 guy with Kurt Warner. But they don't get the Super Bowl without Anquan.
without Anquan,
And probably neither does the Ravens.
So you're saying, you got. I guess you would think, okay, let's think about every one of these players in their prime. Anquan Bolden is a pretty incredible player in the middle of his prime. So I don't. It was just shocking because
Yeah.
I'd still take Moss over him.
Yeah, me
And
too.
still take
I don't want the headache.
you don't want the headache. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
you're approaching. I'm
He's
going numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
going numbers, and you're going heart. You're
I'm going
going.
to coach people how to
Coach-
coach.
See, that's
now
interesting.
That's a factor. See, it's a difference of strategy. It's a
Yeah.
difference because I was building just on numbers. It
Yeah.
was a fantasy
Yeah.
team, right?
Yeah,
But you came at it as if it
I was gonna
was
coach this
you're
team.
gonna coach
yeah.
them.
You get character
Now-
guys on your team.
It's
Let me
my
see. Megatron might be a bit of a character for me.
Yeah.
No, I think
But
Megatron's
how
fine.
about
To
T.O.?
To would have been more of
T.O.
a.
would have been.
No, T.O. with Megatron. I guess that's
Yeah,
what
okay,
I'm saying.
got you
Like
balancing
those-
it out.
That's a marriage
like-
made and whatever.
Yeah, that. But Jim Brown would have put them in their place. So.
Jim is.
Yeah.
I think you just let Jim Brown express himself. I feel a little bit better about that. So you
So
heard that story, Richard Pryor, back in the day.
No, but I know Richard Pryor's a legend. So,
Richard Pryor's is doing his comedy routine, and he said he was in a bar once with Jim Brown, and this guy was just he started getting disagreements. Let me go! I'm gonna kick Jim Brown's butt. I'm gonna jump. Just let me go. I want him right now. And Jim said something that just chilled the man out. Jim said, "Gentlemen, I think you could let the man go. He could express himself a little bit." And he goes, just ease me on out the door. I won't cause any problems. I won't.
I love it. I need to watch some Richard Pryor. Honestly,
Yeah, you better put your
some
goggles
old school goggles.
filters on.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll be
Yeah,
all right.
holy cow.
I'll be
He's
okay.
pretty
Yeah.
thick,
Anyway,
but it's
Yeah.
funny.
Okay, so what about Fred Taylor?
Well, I just, I may only get 2-3 years out of him, but he's going to win you a Super Bowl.
Okay.
I mean, I think athletically he's not Jim Brown, he's not Emmitt Smith, but I got Eric Dickerson. He's my workhorse. I know I picked Fred Taylor first, but I also had a pretty good feeling that both those would be on the board later because neither one of them
Yeah.
would pick him.
Eric Dickerson was on my short list. Like, here's my short list of players. For QB, I had Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Patrick Mahomes. Then running back, I had Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Walter Payton, Jim Brown, LaDainian Tomlinson, Eric Dickerson, Thurman Thomas, and Jerome Bettis.
Hey, Thurman Thomas is another one.
Yeah. Character guy too. If we're gonna go character, Thurman Thomas he's awesome. Wide receivers, I had Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens, Larry Fitzgerald, Calvin Johnson, Marvin Harrison, Chris Carter, Julio Jones, Isaac Bruce, Andre Johnson, and Heinz Ward. Was who I had.
Randy Moss was on my list of 3. He was just gone by the time I had a chance to pick a receiver. And Barry Sanders was my number 1 running back, which you guys are straight to. So I had to scramble a little.
Tight end, I had Tony G, Gronk, Travis Kelce, Antonio Gates, and
Shannon Sharp.
I don't have Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
I
Jason
had
Witten.
him as number. Shannon
yeah.
Sharp was number
I had Zach
5
Ertz,
on mine.
but I don't know why.
Dave Casper.
Yeah. And then kickers, I had Adam Vinatieri, Morton Anderson, Justin Tucker, and Robbie Gould.
Who?
So Robbie Gould, he is like second all time, and he's the Bears kicker, and I'm the Niners kicker.
There you go.
So anyway,
Gotta be a connection in
hey,
there somewhere.
but listen, he's one of the most all time points leaders in all of the NFL. So history.
Yeah, I can't
So
argue
you
with
can't
that.
like the dude. The cool thing is because I would go. My neighbor had season tickets growing up, or when we were growing up for Bears, and we'd get to go to one game a year. And Gold would line up from the corner pylon, the back corner pylon, and try to hit the goal post from the corner. Like that was his goal, was to kick the first one and then kick around to get the second one. It was wild, and he did it. He was incredible. So, yeah, great teams, I think.
I think so.
Did you manage to get him in the simulator? Will that?
I will. I got to set up an account, but I think I'll be able to do this, and I will get back next week, or I will post a.
I'm sure
Yeah.
it'll be last on the list.
No.
I'm sure they will.
I'm sure character matters
I'm sure.
in this simulator. I'm sure. Choose a username. I have to do all that. Okay. Anyway, do that later. Anything else as far as sports stuff goes?
I don't know. I think we kind of nailed it there. I've got some
Baseball's still in a
Quandary.
oh
they
my
are
Goodness.
they're losing everybody, and it was like a few days ago the owners, everybody was mad about the owners, and today I'm mad at the players. It's like just come on, guys. Like,
Did you see Pat McAfee's interview with?
did.
Yeah.
with Jet.
No,
Jet
no,
Passon?
not with Jet. The one he had with the guy was the president of the Marlins.
Oh yes.
Where the guy he
Oh, my
said we
gosh.
used to just like if there was a player that we wanted to get out there or something, we'd make up stories that he
Yeah.
was, or we
We would
Like,
say
they
he's a
intentionally-
They'd say he's a bad clubhouse guy.
Yeah.
Put it out and leak it to the media, so it was
Yeah.
easier for the fans to take in.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
Pat McAfee, who's pretty much like a good character, like he's not gonna. He's very respectful of his guests for the most part. He called him a scumbag right on the air, which is amazing.
And the guy
And
acknowledged
he
it, was
owned
like,
it.
Yep.
Yep. It was wild. So, and also you're seeing the rhetoric that is put out by both sides in this, and it's to get like fans' gut reactions, and then it's just a bad situation. And the MLB can't afford this right now. They're the
No.
last of the four major sports where they're bleeding. They're bleeding out a little bit.
They've been bleeding out.
Yes.
I mean, they are. We had the last time I was on, we had this kind of same conversation. Like they're
Yeah.
on CPR, or they're on
We
life
did.
support.
Yeah.
Gosh.
It's every other league that has kept up with their fans, or has figured out what social media looks like. They're figuring out what fans like, and now that I know it's not for this podcast, but NHL, NFL, and NBA have found ways to incorporate gambling for their fans, which is right, wrong, or indifferent. That is something that fans want, and that MLB is still putting a stiff arm
Yeah.
to it. They're just prehistoric compared to the rest of the major sports right now, and they're cool with not changing it. It's just so frustrating to me.
What happens? I mean, if you had to draw it out, what happens to the MLB? Let's say, what's MLB 20 years down the road?
I mean, James asked the question. He's been a faithful listener lately, which is awesome. So thanks, James. He asked us, will there be baseball in 2020 or 2021 even? Because they're
think
going
no
back
and
to the
no.
bargaining table. I think that there will be baseball reluctantly in 2020. But
Really?
yes, I do. Because the players cannot strike.
You got that.
They cannot strike, or they're in the breach of contract, and that's written in the collective bargaining between the players and the owners. So that being said, they go back to the bargaining table soon. The players are going to remember this, and it's a bad deal. And the thing is, it's tone deaf. It's like the same, like, y'all. To me, the players are and the owners are like, we're arguing over so much money when our country as a whole, like at some level, had to give up some sacrifice at some level financially.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that I do my budget, that we do our budgets at this table, has to be different than we did in December.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, it's so tone deaf to be arguing over $135 million.
Oh yeah, especially when
The rest of the world that you're paying customers are giving up so much as well. And to me, the greatest thing about 80s baseball is that you had baseball players that only were making 10% more of the average household income. They weren't making millions and millions and millions of dollars. Now some of them were, but your average player wasn't making as much. And so that's why baseball was such a blue collar sport that people could identify with, and it's gone so far away from that. And so it's just frustrating at this point to me. And I'm not one of those people that you lost me as a fan. Now some people there are.
yeah.
But I'll watch baseball because baseball's on, and I won't go away from the game. But man, am I frustrated at baseball right now.
Baseball is my sport. I mean, that's the sport I played forever. I played it for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I am faithful to baseball, even though baseball is kind of run by a bunch of fools right now. It
Right.
seems like on both sides.
Yeah. Time may stop.
I will always watch as well.
Yeah. Yep.
But man, I worry. I've been worried about baseball since well before this.
Right.
I mean,
We've had those discussions
yeah,
so many times.
And this just seems catastrophic.
Yeah. James says time may stop baseball from happening. I don't know if that's
Well,
Jesus coming back, or
well, either that or
in
just the
my-
winter.
I think
winter.
he's saying if they don't figure something out
Yeah.
soon,
It's going to be,
it's
out
gonna be
the-
too
you're
late.
yeah,
gonna
for
have to
2020, definitely.
compete. You're not going to be able to compete against the NFL in the bulk of its schedule.
No, and that was the thing is like the Jeff Passan, who's like the baseball guy right now, is like the Pat McAfee show. He's like, yo, we're the kind of the 11th hour here. It's like 11th hour. We're in about the 1,000th and 11th hour, y'all. Like we're beyond that. So, I mean, every other league's got at least their ducks in a row of like.
Somewhat.
This is what we're going to do, and this is our plan. And Major League Baseball hasn't released even a little bit of the plan behind this. That's just, come on. It's just a bad deal for sure.
Yeah, I don't see how this season happens. Like, I understand that the players can't strike, but I'm looking at it, and you're supposed to be in spring I mean, dude, it
Yeah.
is so late. How are you going to fit anything in unless you just slide the season way to the right, and you can't do
Well,
that.
so here's the thing. I think that they have to somewhat simulate, and I know we were talking a lot about baseball, but it is something to talk about. Is like you have to somehow simulate the fact that it's a grind, and so they're going to put a lot of games with no rest happen like that.
When
There-
you're opening up for injury then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna see something like 70 games in 75
That's
days.
not good.
But that's the way that it's gonna like. I think the players would there has to be some sense of like this is a marathon and not a sprint
Yeah.
because that's the way baseball is played, and so there's gonna be dog days that they're gonna have to simulate and make happen.
Or maybe they just draw a name in a hat and just start the playoffs right away.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well.
Or just see the Reds and
Yeah.
the Yankees playing each other in the World Series
Yeah,
or
that'd
something
be
like
awesome.
that. Sure.
Mix it up a little bit.
Mix it up.
All right. So a couple things about our show. If you're joining us for the
Yes.
first time, you can actually catch all of our episodes except for probably the two previous to this one on our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, type in Faithletic. When you get to the site, click on the subscribe button.
Yep. The
and
bell.
and hit the bell. There are two separate things there.
Oh.
The subscribes. The bell
It gives you alerts.
gives you alerts
Yep.
when there's a new video posted. So far I think there's 31 loaded, or 30 or 31 already loaded. On
Yes.
that. We need at some point to talk about ending season 1
We do,
and then starting season 2.
Season
which
2
we
of
may take
Faithletic.
a week or two break.
which is good. We might
Yeah.
reload.
Yeah. But that's coming soon, so we don't know where we're going with that yet, but I think maybe close to 40 we should think about doing a second season.
My agent will be contacting
well,
you between seasons
We don't
1
talk to
and
agents,
2.
so you might want to fire him.
Well, good thing I am my own agent.
Okay.
Tricked ya.
Yeah. And then also, you can go on to our Facebook page and you can scroll down forever and you can see all of our episodes there.
Yes.
And we actually have a number of different issues that we discuss every week. We try to stay away from the political realm as much as we possibly can
Yes, we do.
because just good business
Yeah.
and mainly sports. But we talk about food and entertainment. And a segment that we have not done in weeks is our original segment, Overvalued, Undervalued, or Money.
Money.
Maybe before we close, we have Josh introduced to that segment.
We got time, right?
We do, and then I'd like to do a devotion.
All right, let's do it.
So, okay. So, do you know? Are you in? Okay.
So this is what
me.
happens. Dan and I are gonna pick between us. We'll pick 3 topics, and you have to tell us if it's overrated, underrated, or money. Right on the money.
So, obviously, overrated means that it's not as good as everybody says it is, or underrated is it's better than everybody says it is.
Yep.
And then money means right on, sticking on. And we could go anything from sports to coaches to people to entertainment to food
Oh,
to
wow.
restaurants. Yeah, and you got to think quick. It's not like
Oh,
it's
gosh.
not an essay.
Oh, boy. This is rapid fire.
Okay.
It is.
Okay, I got one first.
Okay, go.
Wait, am I responding then?
Yes.
You're responding. We won't
Oh,
have
boy.
you come up with one. So my first one, Raisin Cane's sauce. Overvalued, undervalued, or money?
I think it's overvalued.
Really? Okay.
Agreed.
Fair. You think it's overvalued?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I feel like that chicken is so good, but I think the sauce is even better.
So is it money for you, or
To
is
me,
it
it's money.
underrated?
Yeah.
To me, it's money.
Okay.
Maybe no. Yeah, it's money. It's money. You got one, Dan?
Yeah, dude.
Go for it.
All right. Since we're along the food, overvalued, undervalued, or money, homemade smoked mozzarella on pizza.
Oh boy. You know, I've never even had
Oh.
that. Homemade. I mean, all those homemade smoked mozzarella on. That just
on
sounds.
pizza.
That sounds like either money or underrated.
Yeah.
You know, but I'd have to try it, so I kind of get a cheat card on that one. I'm sorry.
So let me rephrase that. Extra cheese on pizza.
Over.
Really?
Yeah.
Give
Okay.
me. I
Yeah.
don't know. It depends because I think of deep dish pizza. Got
got
a lot of cheese on it.
Yeah, I gotta have cheese.
It's so good.
Gotta have cheese.
All right. Overvalued, undervalued, or money? Mark McGuire.
Oh wow.
Did you see it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, we need to talk
How's
about
that?
before we move.
Yes.
The you're talking about 30 for 30.
Yes,
Yeah.
the long gone
Yeah.
summer.
I think I don't know. It's probably right about money for Mark McGuire.
Right.
You know, given that I mean, of course, we all know he juiced just like everybody else.
Sure.
Lance Armstrong, all that stuff, and well, he's not being put in the Hall of Fame. So I mean, that kind of feels like maybe that's the balance
Could be.
for now.
Yeah, I think you're right. So let me ask the question. You watched Long Gone
I
Summer?
did.
Did you watch it?
Oh well, I watched
The 30 for 30.
Yes.
Yes. What did y'all think of it? Honest opinion.
All right. So I loved it.
You did.
I
Okay.
did. To tell you the truth, the other segments like and I really got bored with Bruce Lee, and I was a Bruce Lee fan. I
Sure.
got bored with it. I thought both the Jordan series and the Lance Armstrong series kind of depicted the characters of both of those somewhat. And
Sure.
I think the attempt to do so was that. I didn't get that feeling with the Long Gone Summer.
Interesting.
And my opinion on Mark McGuire is, and along with Sammy Sosa, 2 words: saved baseball.
Oh yeah, for sure. Agree.
I love
I
it.
agree with that.
And I not I know you don't. I don't know if you know or not, but Kyle knows I'm not a huge baseball fan, but I paid attention that summer,
Yeah, it's incredible.
and I made sure I was either somewhere where I could see it or taped it or something. I was traveling a lot. And I literally, when I watched that segment, then I kind of got, like, wow, this is cool.
So I got something to say about it. But what did you think, Josh?
Well, I think it was. I think it could have been produced a lot better.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
In what way?
I hated the fact that they were talking about Cubs and Cardinals in 1998, and they would flash forward, like in the same breath, to modern day Wrigley Field.
They did do that.
And I was like,
They
that
did do
is
that.
horribly
Well,
produced.
they couldn't get a lot of the footage
Sure.
from Busch Stadium because it was not there anymore. But yeah,
To me, did you have any more thoughts, Josh?
No, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, because to me, like, no disrespect, and Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa are my, I loved that summer. Like, to me, it's what actually, I was in 5th grade when that happened, and it propelled my love of sports. Like, it's what, like, it was a Kickstarter, and, like, man, I love to care about sports. I love sports. Like, I was all Mark McGuire all the time. I still have so much Mark McGuire memorabilia. I have the newspaper, like, when he hit 62. I know where I was at when this happened. All that said, I love the story. And all they did was tell the story of all the things that we already knew. Like,
it's true.
I would have liked for them to. I mean, they spent more time on the kid that caught the home run ball or found the home run ball than they did with the the steroid hearing. Like, I would have liked to know more about that.
I
Like,
think
what
they were
were you
trying to
doing?
stay away from the negativity. Of
I
it.
know, but I just want, and then maybe that's ESPN and Disney. Like
Yeah,
let's stay away
well-
from that. I
Well,
don't
they
know.
did stay away from it in the other issues
Yeah.
and the other two
What about-
segments.
Yeah.
I
But I agree. I think they were trying to.
You think so? Because
Yeah.
I would have liked to know, hey, this is the steroids. Like, I would go in between innings and I would inject myself with steroids.
yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that
You
I
know,
wanted to know.
Yeah, and
Like, we all know, Mark, you did this. You've clearly said that, hey, I did this. Tell us more. Like, I want to
Yeah,
know
like-
more.
let's get some of that inside, stuff.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Do you think some of it may have been because he didn't want to discuss it?
I think so, and I think a lot of it is because he's still a coach in Major League
And
Baseball.
that, and the fact he's so revered in St. Louis.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that Sammy Sosa has not come back to Wrigley Field, or they haven't welcomed back, is
That's crazy.
flabbergasting
It's crazy.
to me. Like, it is.
They've
it is
never
a-
hadn't won anything ever.
Well, they did.
They win the World
2006.
Series.
But
But-
They
but
hadn't won the
those
World
years.
Series, have they?
Oh, 2016.
They won the World
Yeah,
Series.
they-
in 2016?
Yeah. Kind of
Shows
a
you
big.
how-
Kind of, it was a pretty big deal.
I guess it
Uh,
was. I was
yeah.
asleep. Really?
They did.
I'm serious.
Chris
I'm not-
Bryant. Yeah, Chris Bryant, Andrew Rizzo, that team won. 2016, they won.
I must have been asleep.
Yeah,
Finally broke
you
the
might have
curse.
been.
Huh.
Anyway,
Really?
yeah, no
I'm
joke.
pulling my chain, and I'm not messing with you. I really did.
Yeah,
do
you're
that.
just not a
Wow.
baseball guy.
I get well.
Breaking
Even
news.
though I'm probably, I know how the Cubs are the lovable losers. And
Yeah.
I would have.
Now, and James said steroids were legal. Like, that's. There was no restrictions against it.
Well,
at
I
the
don't know if
time.
you'd call it legal because legally they weren't legal.
Right. Like,
but there was. You're right. There was no testing protocol. There was nothing in the Major League Baseball. What's the word I'm looking for? There
substance
was no
or
substance abuse
yeah.
protocol at that time.
That could have been one of the angles they took. The fact that
Yeah.
there was steroids in baseball was just kind of not worried about back then, but then the public outcry about steroids, and I mean, my gosh, this thing blew up and went
Yeah.
to Congress. They could have done that.
I
mean,
was expecting hour one. Let's go the way that they did it. If I were to produce this, I would have said, "Hey, the first hour, we're going to tell the story for what it is," and it was an incredible story. Let's accept the story for what it was, which was amazing. Hour two, I would have been like, "Let's talk about this steroid scandal," and I want to know, okay, Mark, what was the first time that you took steroids?
exactly.
Sammy, how did you and he said it best. He's like, you don't walk off the island. You got to hit home runs to get off the island. Like, okay, tell me more. Like, did you use steroids to get ahead? Also, where did you come from?
I-
Like in
I-
1997,
Yeah.
where he was doing nothing in 98.
I promise you that was
blows
probably
up.
one of the conditions of doing that.
Sure.
It wasn't going to be discussed.
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Because,
And that's too
again, you're
bad.
still trying to protect the integrity of baseball. And although ESPN probably doesn't care, but I think if they were going to do a piece, that's how it had to be done.
Could it be because of the fact that they're still eligible for the Hall of Fame?
Perhaps.
That could be, and I think, I just want to know give it 20 years or whatever. It's like, Sammy Sosa was never publicly found to have used steroids. There was no public test that said.
Neither was McGuire.
McGuire
He
admitted
did
that you
it, but there wasn't
admitted
anything
it, but
to
yeah.
prove it.
So that being said, it's like there's a witch hunt to find. All right, this guy's eligible for the Hall of Fame, but this guy isn't. Like that to me is, I can't wrap my mind around that. It's like, do you really think Frank Thomas didn't use any steroids at all? Because that dude was jacked.
And then
I don't
what
know.
they did was far less than what Pete Rose did, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think Pete
Because there was
Rose
nothing
was
in
just
baseball that said don't
I mean-
take steroids, but there was something that
Yeah.
said don't bet on games.
And then you ask the question, is like, James asked, did Bonds need steroids? Did any of these guys need steroids? Bonds would have hit probably 60 home runs in a year without it.
it's
But
the exact same thing as the Lance Armstrong deal.
yeah,
If they all weren't juicing,
Yeah.
they would have probably had the same result. But unfortunately, everybody was juicing, so I had to do that just to be in the
I don't
conversation.
think
Yeah.
that's the case with baseball.
I think,
Well, with the home run records, I think it is.
Maybe, but not.
well, we talked about it kind of a little bit with it being a marathon and not a sprint. Like in baseball, and Mark McGuire found out that he needed to use it for recovery,
Yes.
and still claims that it's like it helped me recover. But dude, you were launching balls into the third deck and over the stadium. Like I don't know.
He was, if he
Like-
hit 30 home runs in his rookie season, he wasn't taking anything then.
Eh,
I don't think.
Yeah, but maybe not.
No,
But
he was tiny back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then Jose came along.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Hey, try this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which Jose Canseco is wild. He's
Yeah.
a wild person.
Man.
You should look at his Twitter. He thinks aliens need to come and save
Oh
us.
my gosh. I should follow him.
Babe Ruth never faced today's pitcher. Babe Ruth didn't, and I think now this is why we'll never see 62 even come close.
I think we will.
I don't think so because of the pitching.
What did
Well-
Bonds end up with?
74.
Okay,
Okay.
I thought he was 75. But
Yeah, 74.
I mean,
How about that guy?
I don't like Bonds.
No,
I don't
I really don't.
I didn't care for him.
How
Does
the-
he ever get in the Hall of Fame? I'm sorry.
He might.
Well, if he
I've
does,
gotta-
then McGuire and Sosa should.
He might because of the stolen bases that have gone with it and what he did before the steroids, in my opinion, because he was 500 and 500.
Yeah,
He's the only player ever to do that, to get 500
Ooh,
home runs and 500 stolen
boy.
bases.
Yeah, I still
Okay.
think he doesn't. If
That's
the
a
other two don't get
conversation.
him,
You could
then
have a
it-
whole show on that. Who gets into the Hall of Fame and why, and the steroids.
Right.
But you were going to say something else. What? Ahead of time. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. We're all passionate about this, so I don't know. Like to me, I was gonna say that Barry Bonds, like before he was skinny. He was still hitting home runs and all that. He could have been in the Hall of Fame without it. But I think Bonds hits. The crazy thing is the 8-hitter, like your number 8 hitter, was hitting 30 bombs in the steroid era,
That's
which
a lot.
now they're hitting about 12.
Yeah.
Like if that.
No. Just
So-
the bat.
Yeah, that was it.
That was another thing didn't help Sammy because he got busted with a cork
The
bat.
cork
too.
bat.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was his bat for batting practice. He wanted to put on a show.
Uh-huh.
Jeez.
Look, they all go up there with a cork bat every once in a while.
It's great.
Okay, anything else?
You got a Devo for
I
us?
do. I do. So, the devotion I have set today is with all this stuff going on around us, it's easy to, get bad thoughts and I call it toxic thoughts. So this devotion's entitled "Reset Your Mind: Overhauling Toxic Thoughts." Matthew 4:1-11 tells us about the devil tempting Jesus when he was in the wilderness for 40 days. During that time, Jesus went without food. The devil knew he was weak, and he tempted Jesus to turn from God. With each attack from the devil, Jesus responded with the Word of God. Even though he went without physical sustenance for 40 days, he survived and thrived spiritually. Because Jesus spent time with his Father, he knew the truth. He was prepared for this temptation. We can't live in freedom if we constantly allow our toxic thoughts to monopolize our thinking. The best way to battle them is by applying Scripture, because that will strengthen us in our own battle. We must gear up ahead of time and not try to do this once we're in the battle. Soldiers don't look for their weapons when the bullets are flying. They are prepared ahead of time and at all times. So let's prepare ourselves by putting our minds to the test and choosing to capture toxic thoughts instead of entertaining them. And once we do that, we end that lie that has held us hostage by declaring God's truth. This is how we live free of toxic thoughts. But it is also true that we will fix our thoughts on Jesus and live our lives to honor him. The need to having to test and capture our thoughts will decrease. The author of this message, paraphrase, encourages us at the end of Philippians 4:8 to fill our minds with the best, not the worst, the beautiful, not the ugly, things to praise, not things to curse. So, anyway, any thoughts on that?
Yes.
Go for it.
No.
No.
I was just agreeing with all of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree. I think it's really important right now. And I had a moment yesterday where I literally just turned my phone off for about an hour, and I just listened to. I tried to listen to the still voice of God rather than just the craziness that has gone on. It's so huge for me, and I think it's so important that we do that. We find that time.
Absolutely.
Well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Got anything you want to say
Pleasure
before
is
we
all
close out
mine.
with?
Love y'all.
Yep, love you too. So remember, tune us every Thursday night at 8 p.m. for Faithletic, the podcast. It's a little bit of athletics, a little bit of faith, a whole lot of fun. Don't miss us.
That's right.
Every
Absolutely.
Thursday, go to our Faithletic YouTube channel. Go catch us on Facebook, Facebook Faithletic, and we'll see you next time. Have a good night.
See ya.